In this episode, I'll cycle on 4 different bike trails in order to make one large loop. Come along with me as I cycle the Wekiwa Springs Loop. Hello and welcome to Ed Cycles. I'm your host, Ed. Today I'm cycling a route that I call the Wekiwa Springs Loop. It consists of portions of several paved bike trails in the area. For today's route, I'm beginning at the San Sebastian trailhead on the Seminole Wekiva Trail. I'll go south on the Seminole Wekiva Trail for 2.8 miles to its end at the Orlando Gap. Through the Orlando Gap, the route I'm taking today will go 5.8 miles and will get me to the West Orange Trail. The West Orange Trail I'll be on for 7.8 miles. Where that ends, I will enter a gap area. I'm going to call this the Wekiwa Gap. It's 5.2 miles through the Wekiwa Gap. Then I'll ride the Neighborhood Lakes Trail and the Lake Wekiva Trail for combined 8.7 miles to get over to the Seminole Wekiva Trail for 15.9 miles to return to my starting point today. Total mileage 46.2. I'm beginning my ride on the Seminole Wekiva Trail at the San Sebastian trailhead. I'll go south on the Seminole Wekiva Trail and continue in a clockwise direction on this loop ride. I'll show you the details along the way using maps for each segment, and a GPX file for the entire route is available on ridewithgps.com. I'll post a link in the video description on YouTube. It's a great day for a bike ride. This trailhead is located about 9 miles north of downtown Orlando. It is just north of State Road 436, about 1.5 miles west of Interstate 4. Leaving the San Sebastian trailhead, I'll turn to the right, which will get me headed south on the Seminole Wekiva Trail. The trail parallels the entry and exit road from State Road 436. The first segment of this route is 2.8 miles long and goes from the San Sebastian trailhead on the Seminole Wekiva Trail down to the Seminole-Orange County line just north of Maitland Boulevard. The trail turns to the right and parallels State Road 436 up to the light just ahead there, where the trail will turn and go across State Road 436. There is a signal control button here to assist with getting across the very busy State Road 436. Also a street crossing signal control here across the very busy State Road 434. I'm going to make a short side trip from the trail to get a great cup of coffee. I know a place here just off the trail. It's about 0.3 of a mile, including going through the shopping plaza. It's at the far end of the shopping plaza. The name of this place is Zaza Cuban Comfort Food. Everything here is delicious, the food and the coffee. I particularly like their coffee in the Cuban style. Today I'm going to have a colada, which is my usual choice of drink. Double shot of espresso with that wonderful crema on top. If you order it as is, it comes sweetened. You can order it no sugar, of course. And here is my colada. Yum. That hits the spot and will get me through the rest of this ride. Back onto the Seminole Wekiva Trail heading south. By the way, Zaza does also have American-style brewed coffee, and it is delicious. I have had that as well. While the majority of the Seminole Wekiva Trail offers much shade, this southernmost section does not. It is mostly open to the sun. The trail goes between residential subdivisions here in a power line easement. This is Bear Lake Road just north of Maitland Boulevard. This is the south end of the Seminole Wekiva Trail. A few hundred feet further on south here, you'll get to Maitland Boulevard. This is where you enter the area on the map that's called the Orlando Gap. If you're not familiar with the Orlando Gap, I strongly recommend that you watch my video, Ed Cycles Orlando Gap, to see the options through that area. My YouTube video, Ed Cycles Orlando Gap, goes into detail for 11 different routes through this gap area so that you can decide which route is the one that you are the most comfortable with riding. All of the options are on pavement. There is no dirt here. The video discusses not only the mileage of each route, but also the traffic count information, the locations of bike lanes and of sidewalks, and even the sidewalk widths and the posted speed limits. For today's ride through the Orlando Gap, I'll be using option 9. The route for today's ride on ridewithgps.com will include option 9, but there are many other options through this area. My route today through the Orlando Gap is to go south on Rose Avenue, west on Beggs, south on Pine Hills Road, and then west on Clarkona-Ocoee Road till I get to the spur trail that will lead me up to the West Orange Trail. This route through the Orlando Gap goes south on Rose Avenue, then west on Beggs Road, south on Pine Hills Road, and then west on Clarkona-Ocoee Road until it meets the connector trail that leads directly onto the West Orange Trail. This is a busy area all through this Orlando Gap. I recommend staying on the sidewalk. At least that's what I'm most comfortable with in this area. Recommend you check out what options are available and do what makes most sense to you. Hopefully this gap, the Orlando Gap between the Seminole Wekiva Trail and West Orange Trail, will be short-lived. The Florida Department of Transportation is scheduled to let the design phase of the trail through this gap in June of 2025. As I understand it, this means that they will hire a design company to produce a detailed design for the 3.6 mile section of trail from the existing trail at Hiawassee Road and Clarkona-Ocoee Road to the existing trail at US 441. West of Hiawassee Road, the sidewalk is 10 feet wide, as I demonstrate here how I know. From the FDOT website, the project description is as follows. The purpose of this project is to construct a multi-use trail facility which will connect the Clarkona-Ocoee Connector Trail to the west and the Seminole Wekiva Trail to the east. This is part of the Coast to Coast Trail in Orange County. The project has started the plans update phase. This is FDOT project number 436433-1. So what this looks like on the map is you got the south end of the Seminole Wekiva Trail on the upper right hand corner and the West Orange Trail on the left side. The route through this gap will go for 0.8 of a mile on an existing trail that goes parallel to Maitland Boulevard down to US 441 Orange Blossom Trail. Then you'll begin this gap for 3.6 miles along US 441, then west on Beggs, south on Pine Hills Road, and then west along Clarkona-Ocoee Road. At Hiawassee Road, then it'll meet up with the existing Clarkona-Ocoee Connector Trail that goes for 1.7 miles over to the West Orange Trail. And this is where the existing Clarkona-Ocoee Connector Trail meets up with the West Orange Trail. I'm at the west end of the Orlando Gap. In front of me is the West Orange Trail. If you were going on the coast to coast, you go west, which is that way. But today's route will go to the right, which is east and north, that way. Immediately to the right is the Apopka Vineland Outpost with water fountain, picnic shelter, and a porta potty. I'm now on the West Orange Trail for 7.8 miles up to its present ending at the intersection of Rock Springs Road and Lester Road. Details on the West Orange Trail can be viewed on my YouTube video, Ed Cycles West Orange Trail. The point where the Orlando Gap route joins the West Orange Trail is at about minute 28.5 of that video and continues in the direction of my route today. The video shows details on all of the trailheads, all the facilities available, and any points of interest along the way. A mere 3/10 of a mile after entering onto the West Orange Trail, the trail makes a hard right across the street here at this light. It's easy to miss because it looks like the trail goes straight ahead. The trail that goes straight ahead goes up to the Clarkona Horse Park. To stay on today's route and to stay on the West Orange Trail, turn right and go across the road and continue on the West Orange Trail. Most sections of the West Orange Trail offer a nice mix of sun and shade, and much of the trail has been recently resurfaced. This covered structure here is the pedestrian bicycle bridge over the Orange Blossom Trail. I happened to come upon it here while it is closed for maintenance work, including resurfacing of the grill work and the concrete surfaces. No word on when the work should be completed, but I made do with going around at the street level across Orange Blossom Trail, which can be quite busy. I happened to hit it just right with traffic tied up in the with stoplights, and continued on to get down to the other end and rejoin the trail. I have noticed that most references to places in this area are referred to as Wekiva, but there are also references to Wekiwa. In the Native American Cree Seminole language, as I understand it, Wekiwa means water spring. As for Wekiva, I found conflicting information. Some say that Wekiva means flowing water, and some say that Wekiva is just an anglicized version of Wekiwa. Either way, today, Wekiva is used to refer to the river, while Wekiwa refers to the springs. At this time, the West Orange Trail continues west on Lester Road for a short distance. My understanding is that there are plans to eventually continue the West Orange Trail to the north along Rock Springs Road to tie into the Neighborhood Lakes West trailhead. At this time, the trail ends here. Fortunately, there is a sidewalk, and I'm going to ride that. There's no bike lane right here. I think maybe there is further on up. We'll see when we get up there. This next section is 5.2 miles long, and I am referring to it as the Wekiwa Gap. Later on, I'll break it down after I go through it in terms of bike lanes and sidewalks and so forth. This is Rock Springs Road here on the left. And as you can see, it is a very busy road. A bicycle lane does begin at Ponkin Road going north. At this point, I'm going to leave today's route briefly to take a side trip to Kelly Park. It's about a half mile from the route to the entry station of the park. Kelly Park is located at 400 East Kelly Park Road in Apopka, Florida. There is a $1 admission fee for bicyclists and pedestrians. Kelly Park is an Orange County park. This 390-acre park offers many outdoor recreational activities including swimming, kayaking, fishing, hiking and biking, horseback riding, and camping. The water in the swimming area here is all spring-fed, comes from Rock Springs Run. It maintains a year-round temperature, water temperature between 68 and 72 degrees. In the hot summer months, this place is a very popular place to cool off and oftentimes results in backups at the entry gate to get in. Upon leaving Kelly Park, I'll quickly run out of sidewalk and bike lane and be forced to cycle within the vehicle travel lanes. It goes like this for a short distance along West Kelly Park Road and continues as I turn to the right along Mount Plymouth Road. So this section of non-trail is about 5.2 miles long total. And this 1.9 miles right here requires riding within the vehicle travel lane. It is a busy road, these two roads, West Kelly Park Road and Mount Plymouth Road. This is State Road 429 coming up here, Wekiva Parkway. About halfway across is a bike lane that magically appears. The bike lane is only here for about 0.2 of a mile and then it narrows down, but fortunately at that point is the arrival at the Neighborhood Lakes West trailhead. To recap this 5.2 mile non-trail section, from where the West Orange Trail ends at Lester Road is 1 mile of sidewalk only up to Poncan Road. The next 2.1 miles goes from Poncan Road up to Holstein Road, and that has a bike lane and a sidewalk. The next 1.9 miles from Holstein Road up to State Road 429 has road only. And the last 0.2 of a mile up to the trailhead is a bike lane only, no sidewalk. The next portion of today's ride is on the Neighborhood Lakes Trail and the Lake Wekiva Trail for combined 8.7 miles to get over to the north end of the Seminole Wekiva Trail. The Neighborhood Lakes West Trailhead is actually in Orange County, as is the first half mile of the paved trail. So I don't know if this is considered the Orange Wekiva Trail or maybe it's just the continuation, the eventual continuation of the West Orange Trail. Either way, like I said, about a half mile up, we'll get to the Orange Lake County border. The Neighborhood Lakes Trail goes between the Neighborhood Lakes West Trailhead and the Neighborhood Lakes Trailhead and is about 2.7 miles long. The Lake Wekiva Trail goes from the Neighborhood lake's trailhead over to the Lake Seminole County line is about 6 miles long. Both of these trails are located adjacent to major roadways and offer very little shade along the way. The Wekiwa River is about 16 miles long. It originates in Apopka and is used as a border between Orange and Seminole counties and between Lake and Seminole counties. The Wekiva River has three main tributaries. These are the Little Wekiva River, Blackwater Creek, and Rock Springs Run. This includes about 30 groundwater springs. The Wekiwa Springs produce about 42 million gallons of water each day. The water temperature is about 72 degrees all year around. The river and its tributaries are designated a National Wild and Scenic River System. Wekiwa Springs State Park contains 7,000 acres and is home to Wekiwa Springs Run, Rock Springs Run, and the Wekiva River. It is within the jurisdiction of the St. Johns River Water Management District. The water from the springs flows into the Wekiva River, which flows into the St. Johns River. Midway over the St. Johns River Bridge is the end of the Lake Wekiva Trail at mile 0 and the beginning of the Seminole Wekiva Trail in Seminole County. The final segment of today's route is on the Seminole Wekiva Trail, this time for 15.9 miles. The Seminole Wekiva Trail will return me back to today's starting point at the San Sebastian Trailhead on the Seminole Wekiva Trail. My YouTube video, Ed Cycles Seminole Wekiva Trail, begins at this point and shows the entire Seminole Wekiva Trail all the way down to Orange County. The video includes maps, trailhead locations, trailhead details, and any adjacent points of interest that I found along the way. Now heading south on the Seminole Wekiva Trail. The road that goes off to the right here goes down to Lake Wilson Park, which can also be used as a trailhead. It's a Seminole County park with permanent restrooms and other facilities, picnic shelters, playground, and boat launch area onto the Wekiva River. The Seminole Wekiva Trail runs along the western part of the county. It goes from the Lake County line in the northwest part of the county down to the Orange County line, always staying west of Interstate 4. Most of the trail is very shady, as you can see. A little bit of sun here and there, not bad. It is a scenic trail with trailheads sprinkled throughout. I'll point them out where I can. The Seminole Wekiva Trailhead is accessed on the right here. This part of the trail runs parallel to Markham Road, which you must cross to get over to that trailhead. Hello.
Hello.
I'm back at my starting point today at the San Sebastian trailhead. I really like this route as it's mostly on paved bike trails with a relatively few miles on local paved roads. I want to remind you that a GPX file is available for this route on ridewithgps.com. Select routes from the drop-down menu and do a search on Ed Cycles Wekiwa Springs Loop. Thanks for watching. It's a great day for a bike ride.